What if success finds you when you focus on becoming instead of chasing? Welcome to Personal Evolution Podcast. I'm your host, and today, John and Lisa, your mindset mentors, reveal how to attract success by leveling up who you are. Hit subscribe plus tap the bell for growth mindset hacks, manifestation secrets, and unstoppable motivation, straight from the masters of growth.
Hey you, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
We are absolutely fired up today. We watched this YouTube video recently.
Oh yeah, the Jim Rohn motivation one. How to attract success with the law of attraction.
That's the one, and wow, it really got us thinking, buzzing with ideas.
It really did. That core idea he presents, it's powerful.
Which part specifically?
Well, the idea that success isn't something you chase down hard.
Right, not like hunting it.
Exactly. It's more that it gravitates towards you based on the person you're becoming.
Such a shift in perspective, isn't it?
Totally.
Because we're always told, hustle harder, go get it.
Pursue, pursue, pursue.
And effort's important, obviously, but Ron is suggesting maybe look inward first.
Yeah, take a step back. Is your own development the real key?
It's just a fascinating premise. Makes you really reconsider your whole approach.
It does. And as we sort of dug into it, looking at the specific qualities he talks about, you start to see what this, quote, successful person actually looks like. It's not just about the external wins.
Okay, yeah, let's dive into that.
Yeah.
So he kicks off stressing personal development, right?
Motivational, absolutely.
Building your character,
Yeah.
refining your habit.
Sharpening that mindset, yeah.
And he argues that's the work, the internal stuff, not the external chasing. That's what lays the groundwork.
And it's interesting how he positions it. It's the bedrock. He talks about discipline, perseverance.
Generosity, integrity,
Right.
those kinds of things.
Right. Not just as nice qualities to have, but as like active forces, magnets almost, pulling good outcomes your way.
It really makes you think, how can these intangible virtues,
Lead to tangible results.
Exactly. And he really pushes the idea of being intentional.
Oh, definitely. Goals. A clear vision for your future.
He almost dares you, doesn't he? Like, do you know your 5-year goal? Seriously.
Because if you don't have that clarity, well, success probably isn't just going to stumble upon you while you're wandering aimlessly.
That makes sense. That clarity gives you a framework.
It connects to the bigger picture, right? Without a destination, all your effort
No matter how hard you work.
can just get scattered. It's inefficient.
So the vision is like a compass.
Exactly. It gives direction, fuels focused action, and then you get results. It's logical, like setting GPS coordinates.
But he's also realistic. He knows the path isn't always smooth.
Oh, for sure. Challenges are inevitable.
But he argues the ones who attract success, they're the ones who commit to disciplined action towards those goals, even when it gets tough.
Despite the difficulties.
And I love that line he used. Tough times don't last. Tough people do.
That one sticks with you, yeah. It really captures the importance of resilience.
It suggests the size of the obstacle often matches the size of the goal.
Kind of. But Ron frames challenges not as permanent blocks, but more like opportunities.
Opportunities to grow stronger.
Yeah, to build that inner strength, expand what you're capable of. Like the universe is testing your commitment.
He even shares that story about hitting rock bottom at 25.
Right, and meeting his mentor, Mr. Schoaf. That encounter changed everything for him.
And Schoaf told him something so direct. If you want things to change, you have to change.
Oof, yeah.
If you want things to get better, you have to get better.
That's a real mirror moment, isn't it?
Totally forces you to look inward.
And it puts the power squarely back on you. Stop waiting for the outside world to fix itself.
Yeah, the focus shifts completely to your own growth, your transformation.
And Ron suggests as he started to change, his world started to change too. Opportunities, people.
It shows how internal change impacts external reality. Profound stuff.
Then he pivots to habits. That's critical too.
Oh yeah, he basically says your habits chart your future. Straight up.
You could have the best intentions, the biggest goals.
But if your daily actions aren't aligned, you're gonna struggle.
He points to successful people cultivating success habits like what?
Like consistent reading, planning ahead.
Taking action, being consistent.
That consistency piece is huge.
It really is. And often overlooked, I think. It's not about the big, flashy bursts of effort.
No, it's the day in, day out stuff.
Yeah.
Those small positive actions.
That's what compounds over time. Ron asks, can you keep it up? Not just for a day or a week.
I mean, for months.
Years.
That's where the real power is.
Okay, and then there's mindset. The soil analogy.
Yeah, the soil where everything else grows. If it's negative, full of doubt.
It's going to be really hard to grow anything good, let alone attract success.
You have to cultivate that fundamental belief in your potential first.
That belief is the foundation.
Absolutely. It's not magic. Just believing won't make it happen instantly.
But it's the essential starting point.
Definitely. And Ron quotes that saying, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
Powerful. Shows how much mindset shapes your reality, your ability to grow.
So how do you actually do that? Cultivate the positive mindset.
He suggests feeding your mind good stuff, positive information.
And being super selective about who you hang out with. Right. Your mind's like a sponge, absorbing everything. Negative inputs will just drag you down.
That influence of environment, especially people, is huge. Ron points out you tend to become like the people you spend the most time with.
So if you want success,
You got to be deliberate about who's influencing you, seek out people who inspire you, lift you up.
he even talks about letting go of relationships that hold you back. That can be tough.
Really tough. But he compares them to forces either pulling you up or dragging you down.
Rarely neutral, he says.
It's an insightful point. Aligning relationships with your goals is key for momentum.
And Ron's own story backs that up, right? His mentor introduced him to successful people.
Yeah, shows the power of positive association. Learning from role models. Success leaves clues, as he says.
Okay, shifting gears slightly. Value. The concept of adding value.
Crucial. Success isn't drawn to people just taking up space.
No, it's attracted to those who actively add value. How?
By solving problems, helping others, contributing more than you take,
So the more value you provide.
the more success you're likely to attract. He links the scale of your success to the size of the problems you're willing to solve.
A direct correlation. Interesting.
But it's not just external contribution. He brings it back inside, too.
To character. Integrity.
Exactly. Lasting success needs a foundation of trust, a strong personal code.
And that quote from Mr. Schoaf. The way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Speaks volumes, right? It's all connected. How you handle small things reflects your overall character,
So integrity in the small stuff builds trust.
which is essential for long-term success. Being reliable, keeping promises, following through.
Then there's discipline. Another non-negotiable.
He calls it the bridge between goals and achievement,
Keeping focused, sticking to the plan, even with distractions.
which always happen. Discipline is like that inner muscle. It keeps you going when the initial excitement fades.
And he says it's often the key differentiator.
Between those who make it and those who don't. And the good news is,
You can build that muscle.
yeah, strengthen it over time with practice.
Okay, discipline leads to patience. That seems related.
Very related. Success is rarely instant. It unfolds gradually.
Like planting a seed, you can't rush it.
Exactly. You gotta water it, nurture it, give it time. He warns against getting frustrated by slow progress.
So patience isn't just waiting around.
No, it's working diligently, improving constantly, while understanding big things take time.
The danger is giving up too soon.
Right. Real success is usually built step by deliberate step.
And building on patience, persistence.
That sheer determination to keep going no matter what.
Life throws setbacks, failures.
Always. But persistence, Ron argues, usually wins out in the end. It often defines who succeeds.
So resilience, grit,
Mm.
refusing to be defeated.
Mm-hmm. But he adds a nuance there, too. It's not just blind persistence.
It needs to be smart persistence.
Yeah, coupled with strategic thinking. You need to evaluate, adapt your approach sometimes. Just pushing ahead blindly might not work.
Which leads perfectly into adaptability.
Exactly. The world changes constantly.
And successful people are willing to change with it.
Evolve, learn new skills, embrace new opportunities. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow.
Got to stay flexible.
And willing to adjust course. Ron talks about having to adapt his own business strategies. You can't get stuck.
Okay, nearly there. Positive attitude.
The magnet
Yeah.
attracts positive people, opportunities,
It's
outcomes,
about focusing on solutions, not problems.
and cultivating hope, even when things are tough.
But it's not about pretending problems don't exist.
No, not naive optimism. It's about where you consciously choose to put your focus.
And he mentions gratitude as a way to build that positivity.
Big time. Train your mind to see the good, appreciate it, no matter how small.
All these qualities seem to lead back to one core thing: personal responsibility.
Taking 100% ownership. No excuses, no blaming.
Successful people know they can't always control circumstances.
But they absolutely control their response. That's where the power is.
It's empowering, isn't it? Shifting from victim to architect.
Totally. And seeing setbacks not as the end, but as learning opportunities. Fuel for growth.
And finally, the last piece, contribution, which seems almost paradoxical.
Right. To attract success, focus on giving, not just getting.
The more value you bring to others,
The more success comes back to you. It's that fundamental law. You reap what you sow.
so success becomes a natural byproduct.
Of genuine service, of making a difference. Ron encourages thinking. How can I serve? How can I help?
That's where true fulfillment and success lies.
Beautifully put.
So let's just quickly recap this deep dive into Jim Rohn's ideas from that video. It really boils down to focusing on your own personal
Yeah,
development.
your character, your mindset, your habits. That's the most effective way to attract success.
It involves having those clear goals, being resilient,
Building good relationships, adding value, being disciplined,
patient, persistent, adaptable, positive.
taking responsibility, and looking to contribute.
It all comes back to that core idea. Success isn't chased.
It's attracted to the person you become
Yeah.
by focusing on growth, embodying these qualities.
You basically become a magnet for opportunities and achievements.
Exactly.
It really makes you pause and think, doesn't it? What kind of person am I becoming?
And maybe more practically, what small steps can you take starting today to cultivate these qualities?
Yeah. We really encourage you to reflect on that this week.
Absolutely. Join us next time for another deep dive into ideas that matter.
Until then, keep growing, keep learning.
And keep striving to become that best version of yourself. We'll catch you next time.
So, what's your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Drop a comment below and let us know. If this hit home, smash that like button. It helps more seekers find these mindset-shifting conversations. New episodes every day. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss your dose of next-level growth. Until next time, stay relentless.